Yo, welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live. We're your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. We cover breaking news, culture, and medic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. And today is one of those episodes to really highlight the consequences of that separation, right? To give you guys a little bit of context, right? You know, we have Christine Lagarde, Opti's ex-girlfriend, on the thumbnail of Opti. Maybe it's something that Opti did. I have no idea. But clearly, you know, the politicians, the bankers get a tremendous amount of power to just power. I'll put it at that, from being able to control the money flows. Also, they've been able to get a tremendous amount of power from having a monopoly on information as well. And I think what we're witnessing here, right, is we're witnessing the powers that be try as much as they can to hold on to those privileges, right? Hold on to the monopoly on information and the monopoly on money. And I think it's all happening at the same time. And I think that is what is responsible for a ton of the chaos, right? This dropped this morning. I mean, it's not surprising whatsoever. It must have been something that Opti did. EU chat control law will ban open source operating systems, including all Linux distros. Right. And this is another attempt, right, to control speech, right, to control discourse. But again, you know, the misconception is thinking that you have the ability to censor these open protocols. Right. It's so nice, the old system on top of the new system. Right. And this is something that we've also talked about, the inevitable clash between U.S. sanction policy and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is this open monetary network. It's the money of enemies. You have to be okay with anyone using it, anyone transacting with it, right? And then the old system, of which a bureaucratic elite get to pick and choose who is entitled to use money and who's not entitled to use money. Now in Europe, it looks like the bureaucratic elite is not only entitled to, not only controlling money, but also controlling discourse and speech, right? And history has shown that never leads down a good path. Anyway, so we're going to get to all that today, but I want to introduce our very special guest, fellow content creator. How you doing, Brandon? Thank you for joining us on Simply Bitcoin today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I'm excited to get into it, and nice little opening monologue, man. It was awesome.
Awesome. And then, of course, Rustin, third member of Simply Bitcoin, dropping the awesome clips and the snippets. They've been getting better and better, man. Very, very hyped. How you doing, Rustin?
Awesome. Doing great. Looking forward to today. Should be fun. Happy to have Brandon here. And of course, the mighty Optimus Fields is en route.
Speaking of Optimus, Opti, what did you do to Christine? Like
yo, don't blame me for this.
What did you do,
Stop
bro?
blaming me. I have not done anything at all. Stop saying it's all Opti's fault. I have not done a thing. I have not done a thing.
Opti did something.
At all. Quit throwing me under the bus.
What do we have in the culture segment today, bro?
Yeah, the culture is I think it's just going to be highlighting where we are right now, and it's kind of this this theme that I've been touching on for a while of, you know, if you really want to change the world, you got to learn a few basic things about how the world works and opt into Bitcoin, and the rest will take care of itself. So I'm going to use some Twitter threads to make my point for me, and we're going to have a good discussion on this one.
Awesome. All right, everybody, I'm going to hand it over to Opti. Opti, it's your show. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have fun, guys.
See you.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Brought to you by NODL. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse, because now you can run a NODL through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today.
All right, guys. So you already know this is the numbers time, and we are currently at block height of 774,604, current all-time high in block height. Actually, yeah, let me refresh this. The current Moscow time, aka sats per dollar, is 4,349 sats per dollar. It's still a bargain out there, guys. You should still be stacking them sat, which means the current Bitcoin price is hovering a little under that 23K. We're at $22,995 per Bitcoin, and the percentage issued of all Bitcoins that will ever be minted is 91.80%. This is probably one of my favorite numbers. There's a few of these numbers that are my favorite over here, and I'll point them out as well. And the current market cap of Bitcoin, $443.4 billion. Remember when we were kissing that $1 trillion market cap? Well, we're getting closer, guys. We are getting closer. And again, I forget what Nico's numbers usually are, but these are my numbers. The Bitcoin versus gold market cap currently at 3.5%, which means what I always tell you guys consistently on the show, there is still a lot of room to grow as we get to that $10 trillion market cap. That is gold. And we dethrone gold. Shouts out to the gold bug in our chat. He's continuously coming back. Shouts out to you, Jim. Happy to have you back. And then the total lightning capacity right now is 5,294.98 Bitcoin, which is a total value in fiat of $121,000.9 million. And the hash rate, we saw some bumps in the hash rate this last week. It was kissing like 300 something, but currently right now, at least according to Clark Moody's dashboard, we're at 259.1 exahashes. And the reachable Bitcoin nodes, as we've been covering, these are definitely higher. This is just the public nodes. According to Clark Moody, I forget where he got his data from, but it's currently at 11,904 nodes. Now, guys, today on the numbers, I want to talk about the idea that we've been telling you guys for a minute on this show, that you guys are the media now. You know, we talk about it consistently in the meme review, that you guys are the frontline soldiers. Continue to counter the legacy media FUD, continue to put truth in art, continue to make the content, and open the eyes of all your friends and family out there, because the powers that be, the corporate press has, in my opinion, and I have some numbers for you guys, have lost control on the grasp of the truth, or quote unquote the truth. And so here, let me just jump in. So as you can see, I saw this going around on Twitter yesterday, and I thought it's very fitting. Again, it's back to the idea that you guys are the new media. We've been on this topic for a while about the rise of the citizen journalists, the independent journalists out there, and we're seeing a lot of signs of the disintermediation, not only of money, but of information. And this is probably one of the reasons why Bitcoin has been able to be so saturated into popular culture. But anyways, here's this post by Walker America. Shouts out to the crypto couple. And he goes, average primetime viewers and viewers in age of 25 and 54 demographic. And we got CNN primetime viewers, 444,000. And in the age of 25 to 54, probably the most important demographic out there, the fighting military aged men is how I like to view it, at 93,000. MSNBC, 943,000 primetime viewers, and in that demographic of 91,000. And Fox News, 2 million primetime viewers and 256,000 in the demographic of 25 to 54. And as Walker put, you know, legacy partisan media is dead, or as we like to call it, the corporate press. The corporate press is dying. It's on its last breath. As we'll cover towards the end, it's becoming very obvious that the internet is taking them to school, and you guys out there are not paying attention to what the corporate press is. You have unplugged from the television, and you're starting to propagate your own media and becoming the media themselves. And shouts out to my boy, Chris Alamo, producer for Bitcoin Mag. And he goes, and you have Joe Rogan, who is getting like 4 million to 11 million views per episode. It's absolutely crazy. And this is back to the idea that the independent journalist, the independent media content creator out there is by far the most important content creator out there, because they are getting all the views. Again, we stay as bipartisan as possible on this show, but how are these headlines that are coming out right now? You know, Fox News hits 23rd consecutive month as most watched in cable news as CNN sees gains in January. And so this is just basically verifying these numbers. And as you can see, Fox News, average total audience, 1.945 million viewers, MSNBC, roughly around 1 million viewers, and CNN around 629,000 total viewers. So as you can see, the numbers are a little different than what Walker got which I don't know where he got those numbers from, but the point still stands that legacy media is dying out there. You guys are on YouTube right now. You guys are digesting all kinds of podcasts. And as you can see, another headline here from a couple of days ago, 2022 was another record year for podcasts. So podcasts out there and the independent content creators are the most important people out there, because no one's listening to the talking heads on legacy media, because people are sick of the corporate press telling us what facts are and what the truth is, and people are out there looking for it. And so I continuously went down and I wanted to verify these facts for myself. And so I got on this Triton Digital report from 2022. And as you can see, in 2022, 20% increase year over year in the downloads of podcasts. So more people are digesting independent content. They're avoiding going to the corporate press. You probably don't even watch the television anymore. I know I don't. I watch everything on YouTube. I stream on YouTube, or I go to other independent podcast creators on the internet, because I go straight to the source. I go to exactly where I want to hear the person talking about. And here I have more data. And as you can see, Spotify is one of the biggest platforms out there, with taking basically 38.4% of the market share. And here's back to connecting the dots of what we started this with Chris Alamo. Joe Rogan's the biggest podcaster on Spotify. Everyone knows this. Joe Rogan's probably like one of the most important voices in all of independent content creators. You know, love him or hate him, the fact remains the same that independent content creators are winning right now. And this is the importance of spreading that Bitcoin content. This is the importance of you guys being the media, or rather understanding you are the media now. You know, this is my ship now. I am the captain now. And so it's back to putting your hat in the rink and spreading that truth to anyone that will listen, because people are tuning out of the madness. And while I was going through this, I was reminded of the article that Nayib Bukele wrote for Bitcoin Magazine that we continuously reference on this show. This dropped September 30th, 2022. And the reason I brought this up is because of this one couple paragraphs that we continuously talk about on this show, because it seems more and more obvious that this is the truth. So, you know, the most vocal detractors of Bitcoin, the most vocal detractors of truth, are the powerful elites. You know, we call them the unproductive class. We call them the monetary demons, the high-level parasites. Well, in Nayib Bukele's words, you know, they used to own everything, and in a way they still do. The media, the banks, the NGOs, the international organizations, and almost all the governments and corporations in the world. And with that, of course, they also own the armies, the loans, the money supply, the credit ratings, the narrative, the propaganda, the factories, the food supply. They control international trade and international law. And here's the kicker, but their most powerful weapon is the control of the truth. And they are willing to fight, lie, smear, destroy, censor, confiscate, print, and do whatever it takes to maintain and increase their control over the truth and everything and everyone. And it's becoming very obvious that they're losing this control. I mean, look at all the noise that came out around Elon Musk buying Twitter. And as I wanted to highlight, you know, I'm going to obviously put this on the software at the very end of the show, but I thought it'd be a missed opportunity if I didn't highlight the fact that Nostr just got added to the Apple App Store, you know, open social media protocol. And as Jack said, you know, you guys know Jack. He was CEO of Twitter in the past. He just stepped down to do more Bitcoin work. He goes, a milestone for open protocols. And then Edward Snowden jumps in and goes, what is Nostr? Unlike the old social media platforms where the platform owner, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, gets to decide who can speak and what can be heard, Nostr is an open protocol. If a platform is a silo, a protocol is a river. No one owns it, and everyone is free to swim. What is all this telling me, guys? It's back to this idea that the corporate press, the legacy media, the talking heads out there, the authority figures are losing control on truth, on the monopoly of information. And information is starting to spread like a wildfire. Information is being disintermediated in real time because of the internet. And this is why Signal continuously bubbles to the top because people want to hear the truth. I'm convinced that the pendulum is swinging the other way. You know, we've had this world where you can't say anything or you're going to get canceled. Well, slowly but surely, we are seeing these freedom tools get released and created, and more people are being incentivized to join these platforms to speak their truth because the world is starving for truth. And it's only fitting that we brought another content creator on today when we talked about this, but it's also very fitting that this is what we're doing here on Simply Bitcoin. We have put our hat in the ring to continue to spread the truth, to continue to counter legacy media FUD, because this is what the world needs right now. The talking heads no longer able to have that monopoly on truth because we have the internet, because we have Bitcoin. And this is why we're seeing all of the crazy amount of reads coming from the corporate press because they understand what we understand. They no longer have that monopoly on truth, and they're freaking out about it. So we're just continuously winning over here. You freedom fighters out there, continue to spread the truth, continue to meme them, continue to make the content, and just continue to wake the people around us. And this is all we have to do as we continuously orange pill the world. So I've been seeing Brandon nod his head this whole time. As a content creator, what's your thoughts on this, bro?
Yeah, man, I think that it started off a good bit ago. I mean, maybe it was like the creation of Twitter, but the spread of information now is more prevalent than ever, right? So we've had Twitter and other platforms where people can just interact, connect, and share your own truth and kind of have your own voice and not really need to go to these legacy media systems in order to gain a following and gain kind of an audience, right? So we've seen the emergence of a lot of internet companies come up from this, whether it's social media or other things too. And then, fast forward a few years, we had, the 2016 election, whatever you want to, whatever your viewpoint wasn't on, right? Whatever side of the coin you are on there, you see Trump going out there yelling out the fake news media. You see like a lot of conspiracies kind of being floated around, like people kind of, getting a little bit of distrust no matter what side of the coin you're on. People are seeing, that one famous screenshot, that this riot isn't that bad, where there's, a CNN reporter talking about a riot where there's flames and obvious destruction behind him. And he's like, hey, it's not too bad. So, I mean, just over time, they've kind of built this distrust. And, 2020 comes around and obviously more people were locked at home and, kind of, unable to go around and socialize with people. And so, what do? They jump to social media, they see things and, they get just growingly upset. When you don't have that human interaction, you kind of get a little more ornery and just don't really get to talk to too many people. And then, you see the sound bites kind of circulating around Twitter of press secretaries and other things like that, just saying things to make people happy, essentially, to saying to what they think people want to hear and really just twisting the truth. And you have these people on the internet just, not really forgetting, collecting those receipts, showing like, hey, they said this 1 month and then a month later they're saying the exact opposite. So I think, the more people kind of got on the internet in this digital age, the more people were able to understand like, hey, they're just really just lying to us to our face. And now it's more prevalent than ever, or at least maybe it's not more prevalent. People are noticing a little bit more just because of that spread of the information. So, I think not only that, people are kind of realizing, money kind of controls things. And, at the end of the day, people have been using these legacy media to kind of get off some certain narratives, whatever it may be, just to kind of, help boost themselves up. So I think, the prevalence of social media and now more of these open protocols are coming online because there's that demand of, hey, I want to be able to say what's really on my mind and not have to worry about like, I say something wrong or, I said something 10 years ago on Twitter when somebody, took my Twitter account and they're going back and searching my tweet history. And now I'm getting canceled and unable to play. And, something I worked on my entire life. You see professional athletes or other things like that, get these old tweets exposed and everything like that too. So, I think like people are just kind of, tired of getting the one narrative shoved in their face that they know that, whatever it is, it's just whatever fits that narrative for that certain day, that certain week. And they're tired of, hey, I can't say anything without really getting canceled. So I think, people are just kind of getting annoyed with it all. And that's the call for these open protocols. And so Whether you believe in Elon kind of taking over Twitter for free speech or not, I think that opened a lot of people's eyes as well. So yeah, that's my long-winded rant, but I think it's kind of been a long time coming and a lot of built up, people waiting for something like this. And now here we are, we're seeing somewhat of a revolution coming across.
I 100% agree. 100% agree. Well, Rustin's getting heated. What's your thoughts on this, Rustin?
Hell yeah, Brandon and Opti, good stuff. So I got some notes. Sean Dunn, attaboy, BitBlock boom. Let's go. I'm looking forward to that. Going to be my first time going there. Jim over there is a damn savage. So look alive. Don't poke that bear. He's getting after it. But hell yeah, the rise of citizen journalism. We're escaping the gatekeepers, the agenda setters. It's this mentality. I'll determine what's important, and you're not going to dictate to me what my ideas or principles are. Television is tell me vision. Tell me what to think, what to buy, what matters, what to think. Go fuck yourself. I will not be another mindless sheep. And A. Mayorga, I hope you're right down there. I saw you earlier. We'll keep grinding.
Yo, let's go. You said tell me vision. I like the other meme, like tell lie visions. Like, that's the one that hits me all the time. But anyways, we went pretty hard on this one, and I know Rustin needs some time in the news, so we're gonna get right into the news.
The Daily News.
Brought to you by Blockstream Jade, built by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. It's an open source hardware wallet for the cold storage of Bitcoin. Blockstream Jade houses a full color camera, allowing for fully air-gapped Bitcoin transactions. Scan and display QR codes directly on the device to sign transactions and verify addresses with ease. Use your Blockstream Jade with your favorite wallet software, such as the Blockstream Green, Blue Wallet, Electrum, and Sparrow. Get yourself a Blockstream Jade today and take self-custody of your Bitcoin.
Yo, all right, here we go. So we're going to get it started with the news of Strike expanding remittance features to the Philippines, and Americans send over $1 billion to the country every month. So pretty big deal. Quote, the Philippines is one of the biggest remitting markets in the world, especially from the U.S. Let's see, Mahler said about 12.7 billion in cash remittances was sent from the U.S.-based Filipinos to the Philippines, according to Statista data. So some big stuff. And just recently, we saw the announcement from Strike. If you guys can remember, I'll make that a little bigger here. Okay, so again, the Lightning Network. All right, this is key to Bitcoin being adopted as a method of payment, the layer 2. And the announcement back in 2022, we can remember Shopify and NCR. I'm still waiting on my gas station to take my Moon wallet, but we should be getting closer as this announcement with the cloud-based POS system, Clover. Now, let's see. Clover has a staggering annualized gross payment volume of $233 billion. So pretty good stuff. That's great stuff for Strike and even better for the Philippines. But I want us to take a look at what's happening in Latin America. They're making moves to escape the IMF, the boot on their neck, forcing them to use money that steals from them, whether it be their local currency of the dollar. We know the dollar can be weaponized to crush nations' local currencies, along with local regimes through their constant debasement. It's criminal, it's evil, and it's the only way they can continue to prop up the state, and they'll beat this dead horse until it stops spitting out money. But the signal is spreading, okay? And we are looking reared in metal right in the face. 40-year failures in the United States get promoted in this bullshit fiat system. It's a rigged game. If you want out, then get the hell out. The political system is co-opted. Voting harder isn't going to do it anymore. You have reared in metal, Bitcoin staring us in the face. Build with it. And the state can't stop you. They're inept, and they're in the midst of a collapse of their own making. So how do you escape the prisoner's dilemma that the fiat political system has you cornered into? You refuse to be a fucking prisoner. You take control of your own life. No lizard brain should be allowed to control you. They've had over a century, and they've done nothing but fail. They create war, poverty, and we've seen the devolvement to a hedonistic society, just as in Rome at their collapse. So let's pour some salt on that fiat wound and take a look at what's going on in Latin America. Let's start with Argentina, embracing Bitcoin in the face of inflation. And we remember the episode we saw Wolverine might be running for president down there. Big news. We've got Brazil looking to use Bitcoin and legalize it as a method of payment. Growing adoption, the signal's spreading. Bitcoin Valley in Honduras launches 60 businesses accepting Bitcoin, and tourism is blossoming. We know what's been going on in El Salvador, and we remember the senator from Mexico who was also at Bitcoin 2022 talking about proposing Bitcoin as legal tender down there. And again, we know about the lovely people of El Salvador and showing the world what can happen when you embrace sound money. Bitcoin is hope, and hope and prosperity have found their home in El Salvador. The signal's spreading. Now, this is the big stuff. Those status cucks don't want to be made obsolete too easy. Let's take a look at this bullshit from the EU. Oh, go figure, straight out the EU. All right. EU chat control law will ban open source operating systems, including all Linux distros. The proposed chat control EU law will not only seize totalitarian control of all private communication, it will also ban open source operating systems as an unintended consequence. And here we go. The EU is currently in the process of enacting the chat control law. It has been criticized for creating an EU-wide centralized mass surveillance and censorship system and enabling government eavesdropping on all private communication. But one little talked about consequence of the proposed law is that it makes practically all existing open source operating systems illegal, including all major Linux distributions. It would also effectively ban the F-Droid open source Android app archive. So here we go. They force you to work for money that steals from you. Then they return the favor by doing their best to stifle your speech. And what you put in your body, where you go, while they get sauced and smear stuff all over each other behind closed doors like a bunch of cultist sociopaths. Why do we have any faith in any of these people? Their institutions. Why are people incapable of seeing that they're being coerced, lied to, stolen from, and viewed as chattel? The fight is here now, and Bitcoin was born out of the fires of the great financial crisis to protect and save you from these people. Open source software by Supreme Court and precedent is protected speech, just like money is also labeled as protected speech under the Citizens United case. The First Amendment protects it, but the EU is full of their obscene cuckery. We remember the dumbass Bojo and the virtue signaling and gaslighting for all this stuff in Ukraine. I'm sick of it, and you should be too. I refuse to be a slave. I refuse to think another human can coerce me into anything without some serious problems. Let's run this quick, the ending clip there, Opti. This is what 1913 was all about, the military-industrial fiat complex.
All right, I got you. 1 second. 1 second. Looking for the right one. 1 second. I have way too many clips over here.
No worries.
Okay, which one is it? Oh, here we go. All right, let me get this up on here for you guys.
There we go. There we go.
We're the ones provoking this war, just like we provoked the war in Ukraine. We are now provoking a war with China. And who benefits? I'll tell you right now. Your enemy is not China. Your enemy is not Russia. Your enemy is the military-industrial complex, which has been fleecing this country to the tunes of hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars. How many times are we going to have a defense secretary say, "Hey, we can't account for $2 trillion in the Pentagon again"? Which has happened twice now in my lifetime. So again, people are being the war machine cannot be stopped. Who's running this country? The war machine. It certainly isn't Joe Biden making these decisions. I would like to know who is making the decisions. And I just want to remind everybody, the United States is the world's terrorist. We just set the Middle East on fire in the last 20 years, and now we're doing a proxy war in Ukraine, which we provoked, NATO provoked, and it was just admitted that we provoked it by the former Prime Minister of Germany. And now we're trying to saber rattle with China, and they're predicting a war. Again, China's not going to invade us. China's not our enemy. We might have an economic war. That's what these are. These are economic wars. These are wars in Ukraine. It's about liquefied natural gas and making sure Germany and Russia never come together, because we fear Russia's natural resources and manpower, and we fear them getting together with Germany with their technology and their capital. And so that's why we blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. That's why we're doing the Ukraine war. This is all about hegemony, imperialism, and economics. And if there's a Marine somewhere, it's there because they're about to steal some natural resources from another country. As everybody's screaming about what a bad guy Putin is for invading Ukraine, the United States is currently occupying a third of Syria. And which third is that? It's the third that has the oil. And how do I know we're there to steal their oil? Because the president of the United States said so.
And we're not even benefiting economically.
We're good, Opti. We're good.
Of course.
And that is what Granddaddy Fiat is all about. It's time we quit this. It's time we return to reality and end this 100-year failure and return to reality with sound money that protects our First and Fourth Amendment rather than robs from us and leads to death and destruction all around the world. There's a better way. Opt out. Embrace Bitcoin.
Let's go. All right. Well, man, I couldn't agree more. I have a bunch of notes, but I'm gonna let Brandon jump in because I'm gonna obviously rant for a little bit. So jump in, bro. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man, there's a ton to unpack there, but I mean, you nailed it on the head, right? I mean, the war machine rolls on, right? So I mean, war is just an excuse to kind of get out of it, right? I mean, you kind of started off with the whole control aspect, and it's kind of like, the 1985, the Orwell book, dude. We got Big Brother just trying to control us, trying to control the money, trying to control everything. Listen in on your private conversations, listen in on everything. And, it's funny, we got 2023, 2024 is like when all this stuff is kind of rolling in. So it's only like 40-ish years late, but I mean, hey, we're getting there. Unfortunately, it seems like everything he predicted in that book is somewhat coming true. And I think a big part of it was just because of what happened in 2020. The government saw that, it all kind of ties in with the media. You can control the narrative, and then you can control how people act. I mean, they shut down the entire global economy for a little bit, and then they just kind of pulled some strings there, right? So they printed a shit ton of money, they inflated your currency, and then now they're telling you, hey, just get this jab here. Now you got to do it yearly. It was always kind of kicking the can down the road, especially with inflation and everything else, right? So we're having a bunch of inflation, and we're having the Fed, have to make all these decisions to whether they're going to raise interest rates and whatnot, crash the economy. Well, now we have a war in Ukraine that the U.S. kind of provoked, but in the midst of what seems like a very likely recession, if we're not already in it, what's a better excuse to go through money printing again than a war, right? I mean, you're going to need more money. Like you said, it's the fiat system. We're going to have to send more money to the overseas to help, Ukraine fight. We're sending tanks and other things like that over there already. And so if we keep provoking this, and it seems like, the global economy is going to crash, eventually we'll just probably, accelerate that a little bit and then have to print a ton more money, thus kicking the recession down the road and then starting this another 4-year-ish cycle down the road again, right? Then that's kind of all leads into the power with the current leadership, because all these 4-year cycles, it's like, hey, I don't want to be the president or the party in power when there's a global recession. So we'll throw it on to the next guy. But, if we could be in power for another 4 years and delay it, it's going to be even worse when the next party comes in, and then we'll just keep pointing the finger. So I think it just kind of goes back to, people having power and wanting to stay in power. And then it just being these 4-year cycles where it's like, hey, somebody's not necessarily in power for that long. You really can't do that much in 4 years, but, you could do enough where you pull enough strings, you make everything kind of seem more and more as an illusion. And as we get farther away from, the hard money principles and the gold standard, those the longer drawn out, kind of things that you can do make a bigger short-term effect. And that's kind of what we're seeing here, right? So, it's all kind of tied in together with the money. So, as we like to say in Bitcoin, fix the money, fix the world.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And first, guys, obviously we try to walk the political divide. Like this doesn't matter where the information's coming from. In my opinion, as I said all the time, like you can't vote harder and vote your way out of this. Like the only solution is literally opting out of this madness. As they said in that clip, like the war machine is definitely running on and running this thing. And this is all back because of the fiat money printer. And then back to just like kind of, bring in the EU for a moment. Like the EU really wants their citizens to have fun staying poor. Like I continuously am not amazed at how much the EU will shoot themselves in the foot at the hopes of protecting the citizens. But it's back to what we say all the time. None of this is for your protection. Average citizen out there. Like this is for them to maintain control. But as we've been covering on today's show, and again, Rustin and I didn't even really, coordinate on this one, but we do have a running theme today that information will find a way. The truth is out there and the truth will find you. Like the truth is chasing you more than you are chasing it. And, even though a lot of this news is coming from the EU and we are an American-centric channel, the EU doesn't respect speech as we do, but the precedent of banning software or stepping on speech, like it's amazing to me that these bureaucrats out there, these unproductive class members, the high level parasites have so much hubris that they think they can control speech. They can control what you do. They know better than you. You have no brains left in your mind anymore because they've brainwashed you enough where you are just eating the status quo. Like this is definitely not only an economic war, but an information war. And this has never been more obvious to me personally. And as I was going to wrap up this segment, it's going to lead in perfectly into the culture segment. But like I said in the beginning, like politics won't stop this. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you are. There's no political solution except for opting out of this madness and taking Bitcoin into self-custody. And this is what I want to talk about on the culture. So let's just jump right into the culture, and then we'll continue these rants.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
Before I get into the culture segment, though, guys, we want to do a shout out to Unconfiscatable. It's going to be in Las Vegas, and you can use the promo code Simply10 to get a discount code. This is going live December 7th through the 8th in Las Vegas. There's an infamous carnivore dinner, poker tournament, and the notorious Scammy Awards. You can see Giacomo, the crypto couple, Jimmy Song, Tone Bays, Adam Back, Jack Maulers, Mark Moss, Greg Foss, and a whole bunch of other people. Nico and myself will be there. And then, of course, we also will be at BitBlock Boom in August in Austin, Texas. Use the promo code SimplyBitcoin, all caps, and you can get yourself a discount. This is August 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. This is not a shitcoin, NFT, or blockchain event, boys and girls. This is about Bitcoin, and more Bitcoin. You can hear Parker Lewis talk, Beauty on talk, Preston Pish, Jimmy Song, Adam Curry, Drew Bonsell, Guy Swan, Matt Odell, Marty Bent, Pierre, a host of other people, and of course, Nico, Rustin, and myself will be there, giving you guys that signal continuously. I'm pretty sure we're going to be hosting the space there as well. So anyways, let's get into this culture segment. And like I said, this is a perfect addition to what we said and covered, not only in the beginning of the show, but also in the news segment of today, because this is something that I've kind of been talking with Nico in the background a lot. And I think this is the message that we all as Bitcoiners continuously beat the drum on. And I really like how my friend Fartface2K, shouts out to FF2K, and he goes, every cycle, Bitcoin volatility wipes out the speculators and reinforces the conviction of the hodlers who want separation of money and state. It's futile to vote or participate in the democracy until we have honest money. Fix the money, and then we can work on fixing the world. Good morning, you sovereign sons of bitches. And this is something we talk about consistently. Guys, if you really want to opt out of the madness, if you really want to fight the things that you say you hate in society, then you need to opt out of the fiat madness. This is all backed by the money printer. This is all backed by the fiat game. As one of my friends said, the base money tech, he's one of our writers, he said, the political game is backed by the fiat game. And this is why they are able to maintain their power. This is why the unproductive class is in the position they are, is because they have the money printer and they can continuously print money and they can continuously gaslight you because they can pay the corporate press to tell you whatever they want. They can tell you inflation is transitory, that inflation isn't happening, that we aren't in a recession. They can make up the rules for what a recession is. They can make up the rules for what inflation is. But as Bitcoiners, we tell you consistently, all you really need to understand is basic human action, some basic economics, some first principles in Bitcoin, provide value, stack sats, and go out there and build the things that you want to see in the world. It is a free market out there on the Bitcoin standard. See problems in people's lives and offer them the solutions. And as Stefan Livera says, if you don't take the time to learn economics, the parasite class will trick you and steal from you. And this is something that's never been more obvious to me as a Bitcoiner. But of course, I'm so far down the rabbit hole at this point. Like, what's obvious to me is still a learning curve for a lot of people. They haven't put the proof of work in. As I say all the time, proof of work is a lifestyle philosophy. Have you put in the work to understand the basic nature of reality, the natural law of what is actually going on in the world, trying to understand the true nature of reality? Or are you still listening to the corporate press? Are you still listening to the talking heads lie to you, lie to your face, and convince you to use a money that's designed to steal from you? Or, as Guy Swan says, and this is why I tell you guys all the time, provide the value and save in Bitcoin and then invest in the things you want to see in the world. Put your money where your mouth is. But if you're a Keynesian, if you're still listening to the TV, then you might think that you can continuously borrow from the future, that you can continuously deficit spend, and it's not going to have an effect on society at large. Well, as Guy Swan says, go listen to Guy's Take or the Bitcoin Audible. And he says, there is no consumption that doesn't come from real savings, no amount of debt, financialization, or price fixing that lets you eat two cakes when only one was made. Our monetary system is designed as if we can cheat this fundamental truth. Are you going to pay for this error? Hashtag Bitcoin. Guys, this is the message. You guys out there, and I'm, I hate to just paint this all as men here, but this is our audience. It is what I like to say, the fighting military age men out there. There is some women. Shouts out to all the girls that hang out with us. You guys are true queens in this battle, but the majority of our audience is men. And I think this has to do a lot with the idea of the modern man, the modern young man has been so disenfranchised in society. They've been told us we're wrong. We've been robbed from the boomer class. The older class has stolen our future, and we are literally owning nothing and doing our best to have fun. And it is not the best situation for us, but this is why so many young men are pissed off, because they realize that the game is rigged against us and there's no way to play the game and succeed. So this is why we continuously tell you to take back your life, take back your labor, save in Bitcoin, opt out of the madness, and take your Bitcoin into self-custody using Blue Wallet, Green Wallet, Jade Wallet, Cold Cards, Seed Signer, Spectre, Sparrow, Pine, Moon, Breeze. There's a lot of good hardware signing devices, mobile signing devices, and there's trade-off to it all. But you need to pick what's best for you. And as my friend Clancy wrote on Twitter, she goes, the truth has been out of fashion for a hot minute, but Bitcoiners are trailblazing the next truth movement and prepared to be hated for speaking the truth. And this is where we are right now, guys. The truth is being spread. It is being disintermediated on channels like this, on channels like all of other Bitcoin-only content out there. And this is part of the idea that we cover on our Substack all the time. We are in the then they fight you stage, guys. Just prepare yourself mentally, physically, spiritually for the battle that will come. And right now it is the calm before the storm. So get your cold storage set up correctly, get your food sources set up correctly, understand what is happening in the world, and you will be set up to succeed. And this is just the very nature of being a Bitcoiner. Anyways, Rustin, what's your thoughts on all this? I saw you doing some fist pumps and stuff.
Dude, you were killing it. You had me fired up. And it goes back to what we were talking about the other day, like adopt sound money and take control of your own life. Maximize yourself. You will actually have the ability to do so. You won't be relying on other people. You're not going to be like Alice in, what is that, Through the Looking Glass, where the Red Queen says, you got to run twice as fast just to be normal down here, and get off the wheel. Just refuse to take part in the race and create your own future with sound money. And you can create the future you want. You can live on your own terms, not be dictated by a bunch of lizard faces in DC and elsewhere. They can go fuck themselves.
Let's go. Brandon, jump in.
Yeah, man. I mean, like you kind of said it in the beginning of the rant there, right? I mean, it seems like masculinity has kind of been, it's not cool anymore, right? You got to like support everybody. Essentially, it's the government taking your balls away from you. I mean, it's just like, hey, you need our help. You need us to kind of dog walk you, guide you through all this. It's not safe to do all this. And then, what we just saw what happened, right? The biggest thing that Bitcoin maxis have been screaming since Mt. Gox is put your Bitcoin in cold storage, take self-sovereignty, take control of your life. Well, we've been saying that, but, in the bull run, people were kind of getting into these, FTX, the yield, the yield vehicles that they had where the yield wasn't coming to everything. But you nailed it on the head. We're right before the they fight us stage because, now they have ammo. They can point to FTX, they can point to Celsius, Voyager, all these companies that went bankrupt and said like, hey, look, we didn't protect you guys before because there was no regulation around this crypto ecosystem. So now let us help you out. Let us control it. Bitcoin is bad because, XYZ, and they're going to point us to some, shit coin that they can control and they can help us out. So, I mean, you've already kind of seen the tea leaves, right? They're having a, Ethereum on the World Economic Forum on the front page of their website and other things like that. So, all these other shit coins that they can kind of control, that's what they're going to be promoting. And they're going to be promoting that. They're going to be promoting, don't be masculine. It's toxic to be masculine and take control of your life, take control of everything. So it's just been this narrative that they've been building over all this time. And now it's more prevalent with Bitcoin, where now we have the opportunity to fight back. Take control of your life, take control of your health, take control of everything, and hey, take control of your money. So there we go.
Now listen, that's called motherfucking boy.
Let's go. I couldn't have said it better, bro. Yes, this is a heavy signal show, but I mean, I think you said it best. As Bitcoiners, we've been seeing the writing on the wall. We have the blueprint. We know what's going to happen, and we just see it happen in real time. It's like watching a slow motion car crash happen. It's like, oh yeah, remember we told you this was going to happen, and yet you are still blindsided by it. It continuously blows my mind. But let's jump into the meme review, everyone's favorite portion of the show.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Kaboom Racks. I get this question all the time. Nico, where should I buy Bitcoin miners? The answer is Kaboom Racks. It's the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. That's where you're going to find the best deals and the best prices. Start your mining utopia today. To check out their racks, you got to go to t.me/Kaboom Racks. Join their Telegram group and start your mining journey today. Kaboom Racks.
Kaboom, right. All right, you already know the deal. It's the meme review. This is your favorite portion of the show. Drop your meme review score in the chat once I am done so that we can cover it live. As we tell you guys consistently, we are in an information war. This is why today's episode was so heavily on this idea of, censoring truth, censoring speech, censoring information, is because they are losing and Bitcoin's incentives continue to win because people continue to want to hear the truth. So tweets are the bullets, memes are the artillery. Continue to put truth in art, continue to spread the signal, continue to do your best to wake up your friends and family. it ain't honorable, or it ain't a pretty work, but it's honorable work, and someone's got to do it. It ain't much, but it's worth it. Anyways, before I go too far ranting, this first meme is by our friend, the BTC therapist on Twitter, and he goes, bear market plebs are built different. And we got this meme, me after my $5 DCA of Bitcoin. It's a Lord of the Rings, like holding his little coin. Like, I think this is how all of us feel right now. And did I pull it? Oh, I think I pulled one of them off. It would no, perfectly. All right, I did it correctly this morning. Shouts out to Turtle Cute 33. This is a continuation from the first one. Basically, we got the lime green Wojak in perfect Bitcoin Zen, and he goes, Bitcoin goes up, good, now my Bitcoin can buy me more things. And then we got the young Bitcoin Chad on the bottom with still using gel, even though it's 2023 to spike his hair. And it goes, Bitcoin goes down. Good. Now I can buy more Bitcoin for cheap. See, your FUD has no value here, my friends. Either way, this is good for Bitcoin. And this next one, shouts out to Lena Sishay. She goes, Little Bull and Little Bear. And this is part of the Little Hodler series. And it's a comic strip, and we got the little bull here with the cake, and we got the little bear with his backpack going to school, and it goes, Little Bull and Little Bear were best friends, but Little Bull was always more popular than Little Bear, and you can see the markets going up in the bull market. And then Little Bear couldn't quite figure out why, and we got me telling Nihilist Fields to stop it. Hey, Bear, stop it. You know, get some help. Why are you always so bearish? You need to stay bull-tarded, my bear friend. And then Little Bull decided to help his friend. Hey, this is the bull talking to the bear. Hey, I want to introduce you to a few people. And, you know, it's a bear market. And now everyone is saying, Bitcoin's on sale, buy the dip. And now the little bear was popular as well, because all you Bitcoiners are stacking through the bear market, buying the dip, and continuously playing the game of Hungry Hippo and accumulating more sats. And then on the point, we were going to cover ordinals today, but Nico had to take this day off to go do some work meetings without us. Tisk. So I think we're going to cover it tomorrow, unless some other news story breaks that we have to cover. So shouts out to Not Grubbles. I absolutely love this meme. We got a brainiac Bitcoiner over here. Bitcoin then. We solved the Byzantine general's problem and created a global decentralized currency. And then on the bottom, we got Bitcoiners now drooling on themselves. I can store JPEGs on the blockchain. Oh, my goodness. Don't even get me started. Oh, my God. Anyways, we'll probably cover this tomorrow. But, you know, shouts out to Satoshi for solving the Byzantine general's problem and creating a global decentralized currency. Anyways, this next one, shouts out to Maxie's Club. I'm a fan. I'm smitten with your artwork, bro. And anytime I see you, and I always add it to the show. Anyways, this one is number 293, and it just says shy. And we got a Pepe the Frog Bitcoiner goes, take this fiat and go buy more Bitcoin. And then we got someone commenting that goes, haha, please stop, with heart signs. And it says, come on, don't be shy. And it's just Bitcoiners talking themselves into the mirror, telling yourselves to go buy more Bitcoin. Anyways, this next one, shouts out to my boy, Nick Can't Mind. And I guess the original tweet was deleted, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I forget what the original tweet was. We got the Bitcoin Zenist. Shouts out to Nick, because we've been harping on this idea of Bitcoin Zen for a long time, and we got this. It's a monkey Bitcoiner, and it goes, hasn't read anything about Bitcoin, intuitively knows what it means, always in the flow, lives in the moment, doesn't try, still succeeds, thinks in halvings. Quotations, bro. I'm just vibing. Doesn't care about facts. Another quote, just be yourself. Doesn't explain it all, and stays humble and stacks as. This is Bitcoin Zen. Once you get it, your point of view on your life and everything around you just fundamentally changes, because as memeing Bitcoin put in this meme, Bitcoin is the only bank open to everyone. And I really like this artwork. It's just a Bitcoin bank, open to everyone, open to the world, a global decentralized network that no one controls. This is a feature, not a bug. We don't need the money lenders. We don't need the money middlemen. We don't need the money makers anymore. We have Bitcoin, and you can opt out of the madness. Anyways, my meme review score is, you already know, I still have hundreds of stickers over here from this gag gift that my sister got me. And so this one we're going to do Bitcoin with an astronaut and the Bitcoin B on its head because we're going to the moon. Oh, hold on. Before you go, Rustin, we're going on
rocket ship. Get on board.
So why?
All right, Rustin, what's your meme review score?
Hold on. My precious. Okay, we got Little Morty over here. That's going to be my meme score. We got Little Morty. Here we go.
There we go. Yeah, I guess I'm up, right?
You're up.
My meme review score is going to be this nice like lavender candle that I got here because everything is all around the Bitcoin Zen. So we're lighting this. We're getting in the Zen. We're getting relaxed. You know, I always got to keep one of these on my desk, so I stay in that Bitcoin Zen.
That's
this
good,
guy
since
gets
we
it.
just raged so hard this episode.
This guy gets it. Dude, I can smell the lavender candle through the computer screen. Exactly. All right, guys. Before I get to the meme review scores, your live meme review scores, go check out representltd.com. Promo code simply-bitcoin. You can get yourself some stylish Simply Bitcoin hats. You know, I got the dad hat maxi, but Rustin's got the snapback over there. And then we're rocking the Represent hoodies all day. And look, Rustin, you know, I'm going to do what Nico does to me all the time. Let's get you to model the merch. All
right. What do we got?
There we go. The camo Simply Bitcoin hoodie with the snapback Simply Bitcoin hat. All right, guys. I already see some scores coming in. So let me get to these scores for you guys. Okay, one second. Let me get to the top. I think this is the first one. All right. So shouts out to Elaine. I give those memes. Opti's breakup with Christine broken heart. She becomes a Bitcoin maxi to win him back. Oh man, that meme's never gonna die. I guess. Oh man, I guess Christine. I'll see you soon, babe. Hammer Saul. I give these memes 3 bears subdued by Goldilocks waking up from hibernation. Yes, exactly.
That's a good twist.
Exactly. The P-Man van. I give these memes a giant middle finger to the Lizard Face Legacy Corporation or corporate media. Let's go. Oh man, global
promote
nonsense.
That man.
I give these memes 1 Ordinals NFT. Oof. They were that bad? Okay. All right. Igor, I give those memes the number of the beast. Oof. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we skipped that one. I didn't number these ones. All right, Nihilist Field, my alter ego, my pessimistic, nihilistic alter ego out there. He goes, score the square you didn't see on the comic, Little Bear getting waterboarded in Gitmo because of financial terrorism with moving $69 over his no KYC LN. Dang, Nihilist Field's living up to his name. All right, good Mr. God. Robot, rate those memes. 1 boomer Jim in the chat that doesn't get the memes. Oh, snaps. Okay, Bitcoin Becca. I give these memes Opti's X Chrissy Lagarde's head on a platter. Yo. Hey, yo. Okay. 2 more. Michael Ward. I give those memes a $1 trillion US coin. Yeah, mint the coin. Let's get it over with. Mint the coin. And our boy Andres, I give the memes the FUD JPEGs on Bitcoin blockchain. All right, guys. Wow. Hey, this is fun. When Nico's away, we get crazy. We get real crazy over here. All right. Software release. Yeah, exactly. The house is on fire meme. This is fine. All right, software release, and then we'll roll this one out.
Bitcoin software release.
Brought to you by CipherSafe. Don't be that person that loses their Bitcoin seed due to fire damage, water damage, dog attacks. Back up your generational Bitcoin wealth on steel, and there's no better place to do it than the Cipher Grid by CipherSafe. And now check out their new Bitcoin art, the Bitcoin Rulux triangle, only on ciphersafe.io.
All right, guys. So I already told you what today's software release is, and this is just part of everyone on Twitter, at least Bitcoin Twitter, doing the yearly migration, the yearly exodus from Twitter and trying a new social media app. But right now, Damus just officially got accepted into the Apple App Store. And hey, look, I'm an Apple Maxi. You guys can throw tomatoes all you want. But anyways, Damus app on the Apple App Store. You can get it live now. I think they're already on the Android, the what's it called? The Google Play Store, F-Droid. But now all the Apple users can use it as well. It is live, Damus, DAMUS, on the App Store, and I got on it last night. It's honestly, I got on to just kind of check it out, and it's a lot less clunky than I thought it'd be. Like it's actually seeming very promising. But hey, I'm still convinced that we're going to be doing the exodus back to Twitter in about 2 weeks, but we'll see. Maybe this one will last. So, shouts out to the boys that created Damus and everyone that's over there. We'll see you guys on Damus. And before I give our special guest a shout out, check us out on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and we are a part of the value for value economy on Fountain. So if you guys stream us some sats, if you guys give us some comments through the Fountain app, we will cover it on Friday. I'll get all the screenshots. And if you clip us, I will do my best to remember to get them on the show as well. So appreciate everyone sharing us. What's up, Rustin? I see. What's going on over there?
All right, Jim just might have gave us like $1 billion idea. He said,
"Why
not?"
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that." But hey, genius. This is why you got to be in the chat. Anyways, I'm kicking Rustin off for today. Anyways, Brandon, where can they find you? What are you working on? And what do you want the people to go check out?
Yeah, man, for sure. Thank you guys for having me. And yeah, everybody in the audience, stream these boys stats. They're working hard and they're doing great stuff for the economy, the Bitcoin economy. But you can find me at Green Candle IT on Twitter. Yeah, State of Bitcoin podcast. And then I also got a Macro Insights podcast, which is just overall macro stuff. So a little away from the Bitcoin, but yeah, you can find everything on Twitter there in my link tree. So check it all out. And yeah, man, thanks for having me. It was a blast.
No worries, bro. All right, so I'll take you off stage, but hey, if you want to come hang out with us on Twitter Spaces, I'll bring you up and we can continue this conversation. So appreciate it, bro. And then everyone out there, we appreciate everyone that hangs out in the chat. We appreciate everyone sharing Simply Bitcoin. And like we say all the time, don't just share us, share all the Bitcoin content out there. There's not enough content out there because people are still falling for the fiat lies, which means we still have a lot of work to do. And as I say on the show consistently, the Bitcoin price is a real-time metric of people's understanding of Bitcoin. So we're only around 23K. It means the world hasn't woken up to the power that Bitcoin enables them. So continue to spread the signal, continue to plant them seeds, and we'll see you tomorrow for our normal show, guys. So appreciate it. Again, go hang out with us on the Twitter Spaces if you want to continue the conversation. But without further ado, we will see you tomorrow, guys. Appreciate everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Peace out.